the chamber now hands over the floor to the international co-prosecutor to put further question to the civil party.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before the break, Mr. Civil Party, you told us that you received very thin gruel to eat once you arrived at Trapping Tau village in Tramkak district. Did you have enough to eat?
Answer. As for food ration, we did not have enough food to eat. We had only a watery gruel. We did not have enough food to eat.
Est-ce qu'en raison de ce manque de nourriture,
on account of such food shortages, did people fall sick among the 17 April people?
Answer. Some people got sick, and we could see that they were bony and the knee were as big as the head. Some people were accused of being psychologically sick, and they adhere to the slogan that keeping is no gain, taking away is no loss, so they took these people away.
quand les gens étaient malades, est-ce qu'ils...
When people fell sick, did they receive normal food rations? That is when they were not working.
Okay. Answer. For those who was not able to work, the food ration was reused. They were sick and their food ration was reused, and they said that if people did not produce any labor, they should have only a little food to eat.
Et est-ce que les malades bénéficiaient de soins médicaux?
And did the sick receive appropriate health care?
Answer. As for the treatment, I did not witness it. I could see only the rabbit trap medicine were used and administered to the sick for treatment. I did not know whether there were other types of medication or there were other types of treatments.
Est-ce que les miliciens...
Did the militias in that Trapping Tau village, in Trapping Tom Kanchern commune, and the Khmer Rouge cadre at that place mistrustful of your 17 April group from Kirivong? And if yes, did they monitor their movements in any particular way?
Answer. They did not trust new people. They did not trust new people at all. We were watched and we were under surveillance, so we were not trusted.
Est-ce que dans ce village et dans cette commune, il y avait...
In that village and in that commune, were there any Khmer Rouge cadre who were 17 April people?
Answer. No, only the base people.
Tout à l'heure, vous avez
A while ago, you said that you were transferred from Kirivong to Tramkok around September or October 1977 with the President's leave. I will show you two documents. Documents of the civil party concerning the transfer of people from sectors 109, and these are documents E3/4087 and 4748. May I request the chamber to allow me to place this document on the screen?
President, you can do so.
donc le premier document E3.
The first document, E3/2448, the relevant page in Khmer is 000791102. That document will be placed on the screen. In English, it is 00322177, and in French, it is 005888784. To sum up the contents, it was sent on the 9th of September 1977 by a person called Mern from the Cooperative Committee in Trapping Tomkangchern to the District Angkar regarding the situation of the enemy. The report makes mention of the arrest in the cooperative of a young pupil called Keo, K-E-O, Reo, R-E-Y, and it is said that he was sent recently by Angkar 109, and his father had already been taken away by Angkar, and this Keo Rei had stated, and I quote, "If the Cambodians had won the victory during the war, it was because the Americans had seized the bombings." End of quote.
Est-ce que vous connaissez cette personne?
Do you know that person called Mun, who is representative of the cooperative commune at Trapping Tom Kangchern? Trapping Tom Kangchern commune.
But answer, I did not know the person by the name Mon.
Est-ce que vous connaissez
Did you know that young person called Keo Rei, who had been transferred from Kirivong district to Tramkok district shortly before the 9th of September 1977? Have you ever heard his name, Keo Rei?
But answer, I never heard of this name. The old people units were living in different places from those of children unit or women units.
D'accord, ici il s'agissait d'une jeune.
Very well. Here we're talking of a young pupil and not an elderly person. Let us now look at the second document. It is document E3/4087, and the Khmer page ERN is 000791106, and in French is 00712 and in English 00276574.
Il s'agit donc d'un autre document de la même.
This is another document from the same cooperative in Trapping Tom Kangchern commune dated the 9th of October 1977, and it was sent to the Angkar in Tramkok district, and the report says the following, and I quote, "Within the youth unit at Trapping Tom Kanchurn Commune are new youngsters that Ankara has sent from Unit 109, such as Chip Chan, CHIP, CHHAN, Mam Sun, Liang Lot, Kep Sam. They met in hiding at midnight on the 8th of October 1977. The militiamen at the commune arrested them and brought them for interrogation. They refused to answer any questions and are all tight-lipped." End of quote. Do you know among the people who are transferred from Kiribong district to Tramkak district, these youngsters called Chip Chan, Mam Sun, Liang Lot, Kep Sam, were these persons among those who were transferred with you from Kiribong district to Tramkak district?
Answer: I do not know these people.
Est-ce qu'avant votre arrestation,
Prior to your arrest, did you ever hear that other persons had already been arrested among the 17 April people from Kiribong?
But ខ្ញុំ
Answer: There was one individual evacuated from Kiribong. The name was Iam Sokha. He was put in the detention center before me. His name was Iam Sokha. I do not know other people beside this individual.
bien, j'en viens donc à votre emprisonnement.
Let us now talk of your imprisonment at Angropa. You referred to that on the 2nd of April. And I will try to shed light on the period, the month of your arrest. You told the co-investigating judges, and it is document E319/12.3.8 in answer number 65, that you worked for about 1 month at the card unit before you were arrested. In the supplementary information form E3/1035, E3/5035, it is specified that you were arrested approximately 5 months after you arrived at Trapping Tom Kanchurn. Can you please clarify this matter and tell you how long after your arrival at Trapping Tom Tsao in Trapping Tom Kanchurn commune you were arrested? You said you were transferred around September 1977. When were you arrested and transferred to Angroka?
Answer: They arrested me. In fact, I do not remember when I was arrested. I knew that it was in 1978 that I was arrested.
Vous n'avez donc pas beaucoup d'idées.
You therefore do not know approximately how many months elapsed before you were brought to that commune and worked in the cart unit before you were arrested? You don't know how many months went by before that.
Answer: it is true.
Alors, vous avez parlé
In your civil party application E3/5034 on page 2 about your arrival at Angroka. And this is what you stated. Once we arrived at the Angroka market, the driver of the cart gave me to the head of the militia, Ruo, R-U-S. At the hearing of the 2nd of April at about 10:47, and it's E1/287.1, you stated that I think that market served as an office during that period. End of quote.
Vous nous avez expliqué que vous avez travaillé
You explained to us that you worked as a prisoner at Angroka, and at a point in time you were authorized to leave that location and to work during the day. While you were working there, did you get to know whether the office was at Angroka market? Whether at that market was a person called Rules, that is R-U-O-S. Was that a district office, a trade office, a security office, or any other type of office?
Answer: I do not know this well. I do not know whether Angroka market was used as a security, as a district office. I was arrested in the commune and I was put there. I believe that the market was used as the district office. Rules came to take me and put me in the office.
bien.
Very well. When you arrived at the detention office, that is the prison of Angroka, you said was about 400 meters from the market. What were your first impressions when you entered the room in which you were going to be detained? For instance, did you smell anything emanating from that office?
Answer: upon my arrival, I arrived there at night time. I saw a hall on the ground with the wooden floor and a wooden wall. It was about 5 by 10 meter hall. And after that, Ming went to collect the lock, the key to unlock the door, and I was pushed into the room. There was a bad smell in the room from the urine and from the disgruntlement, and I felt like I was going to die. It was a very bad smell. The smell was very bad, rather.
Quelle était l'apparence des prisonniers que vous avez?
What did the prisoners you found at that location look like? Did they look healthy or not?
បាទពួកគាត់
Answer. They did not have a good health. I observed that they were bony. When I was first put into the room, I felt very pity on a person by the name Im Songkha. He was very bony. And as for food ration, I could have only a small ladle of food. I did not have my food because I saw that Im Sokha was bony. I gave the food to him. No one in the room had good health. I mean, the prisoner did not have a good health.
À l'audience du 2 avril dernier,
The hearing of the 2nd of April at about 12 hours to 2, you talked of the death of a person called Pat, P-A-H-T. According to what you saw, did other prisoners die of hunger, illness, or maltreatment at Ankroka while you were there?
បាទនៅពេលដែលខ្ញុំជាប់គុក
Answer. When I was detained there, I was there for a period of time. That person's name was not Pat. His name was Pat. And there was another man. He was handicapped. He could not perform the work well because he was handicapped. Keeping him is no gain. Taking him is no loss, and he was taken away.
vous avez parlé de la dimension de cette salle.
You talked of the dimensions of that detention office. Can you tell us whether there was only one room in which prisoners were locked up, or there were other rooms?
ក្នុងរោងវែក
Answer. There was a long hall. It was 5 by 10 meters. And there were two rows of prisoners. And there was a water pot, a big water pot, for us to relieve ourselves. And we were sleeping in our rows, our legs facing to each other. And we were shackled. All prisoners were put in one long hall.
Est-ce que vous pourriez estimer
Can you give us an estimate of the maximum number of prisoners who were locked up during the same period at night at Ankroka? Approximately how many people would be in each room at a time?
បាទវាមានដោយ
Answer. It depended. Sometimes the hall was full and overcrowded. At night time, the prisoners were returned into the office, and at daytime, because the rooms sometimes was full and overcrowded, some prisoners were taken out of that room or hall and I did not know where they were taken to.
Et est-ce que vous êtes capable ou pas d'estimer
And are you able or not to give us an estimate of the number of people who were in the hall when it was overcrowded? How many people would be there at night?
បាទប៉ាន់ប្រមាណហ្នឹង
Answer: from my rough estimates, there were at least 70 prisoners in the hall, and the prisoner in the hall were shackled. Only children or babies were not shackled. The mothers would be shackled.
Merci. Concernant la fréquence,
Thank you. Regarding the frequency with which new prisoners arrived at Ang Roka, and you said on the 2nd of April that they came from time to time. Can you tell the chamber what you meant by that? Did new prisoners arrive each week, several times a month? Or do you have another estimate of the frequency of their arrival?
ผมเชิญลูก
President, please hold on. Mr. Civil Party, you may now proceed. Victor Kope.
Thank you, Mr. President. Although the questions are interesting, and I believe the answers could also be interesting, nevertheless, the situation and prison conditions in Ang Roka are not part of this segment, are not part of this trial. So maybe I formulate my objection into request for guidance as to what we should do with Ang Roka prison. Technically, these questions are irrelevant. However, if you consider it to be relevant as to the functioning of Kang Tachan, I can understand. But I think my objection is formulated as such that I would like to have some guidance as to how we should proceed.
I would like to respond. First of all, indeed, there is a link with Krang Tachang that has already been demonstrated through the documents that were presented before this chamber. And second, there's also a link, a very clear link, with the cooperatives of Tramkok district, since it is the people from the cooperatives who were arrested and who were sent either to Angrokar or to Krang Tachang. So I think the link is clear. So I think we should continue putting questions to the civil party.
President, the chamber allows the parties to put question in relation to the facts of Ang Roka. However, the question should not be in detail in relation to this matter. Ang Roka is part of Tramkak district fact and is also part of Krang Tachan security office facts. Mr. Civil Party is instructed to give your response to the last question put by the International Deputy Co-Prosecutor. If you do not recall the question, you may ask the co-prosecutor to put the question again.
Yes, I will repeat my question. Civil Party, how often new prisoners would arrive at Androka? Was it every week, or several times per week, or several times per month, or how frequent was it?
Bad.
Answer. The prisoner sometimes arrive once a week or once a month.
And were the prisoners, did the prisoners arrive in groups, or would the situation change? Were they groups of prisoners arriving together?
Answer. On some occasions, they came in groups. And as for female prisoner, they would come in a group of 6 or 7 people. For male prisoner, they would come in a group of 4 or 5. At night time, prisoners were put back in the hall and were shackled. They would be taken out of the hall at daytime. I do not know where they were taken to.
Now, with regard to the release of prisoners, you said in answer 77 of your record, that is document E319/12.3.8, and you said that you saw people from Amroka take 4 to 5 people to be killed every day, and in another document, E3/5035, you said that this happened every 2 to 3 days. It's on page 2 of the translation of the supplementary information form. So this frequency of people being taken away, would it change according to different circumstances, and what can you tell us about this?
Answer. The situation sometimes changed.
So you assumed that people who were taken away were going to be executed at Damne Romil Mountain. So as far as you know, when you were working outside of the Angroka Detention Center, did you see if prisoners were sent to the Angroka District Office or to the Angroka markets?
បាទ
Answer. Prisoners were sent to the office where I was detained. It was near the Angoroka, and as for killing, or as for the fact that prisoners were taken away to anywhere else, I do not know. I could only peep through the hole of the planks, and I do not know where the prisoners were taken to.
And back then, did you hear about the center, the Krang Tachan Security Center, maybe because other prisoners had spoken to you about that? Did you hear about this center? Did you hear about what happened at this center?
ខ្ញុំ
Answer. I have never heard of this matter. And prisoners who were detained in the same hall as I was have never learned of this matter. Perhaps some of them got to know this matter after the liberation, but I do not know about this. I have never heard a prisoner talk of this matter.
And you said on 2 April that you were put to work about 3 months after you had arrived at the Angoroka Detention Center after Meng had interrogated you. Did you learn why you were allowed to work during the day as of that specific moment?
បាទ
Answer. I was detained in the office for perhaps 3 months, and the older prisoner were sometimes released to work. I was alone in the office. Meng called me out to interrogate, to ask about my background. After the interrogation, I was asked to carry water to water the sugar cane or coconut trees.
Aside from the cadre militiamen whom you met at the beginning, were there other leaders or cadres, district cadres, for example, who came to see Meng at the prison? Is this something that you noted?
បាទ អត់
No, I did not see any.
And Meng, the head of the prison, did he have a messenger?
Whether he had a messenger, I did not know.
And you spoke on 2 April about an infant with his mother, who was detained when you arrived at Angroka, and today you said that infants were not shackled, but that their mothers were. So, with the Chamber's leave, I would like to show to the civil party document E3/4093 and to display it on the screen as well.
Yes, you may proceed.
Mais avant cela, peut-être une...
Before that, maybe I can ask a question. Were infants subjected to the same fate as their mothers? That is to say, if their mothers were taken elsewhere, the children were also taken elsewhere.
Yes, the young infants would go wherever the mothers went.
Well, the pages I would like to focus on, in Khmer, there are 4 of them. ERN 002707 86 to 89. French, first, page 00729674, as well as the following page that says 75, and in English 00831486 and 87, I believe. So this is a document that was authenticated by its author, Tatsan, who was the district head of Tramkak before this chamber. And these are instructions that were relayed on 7 August 1978 by Tatsan to a so-named Chun. And on this first page, it is stated, and I quote, free translation, regarding the widows who came from Trapeng Tom from the north. Nowadays, they are with Comrade Meng. And I am requesting you to sweep everything away, cleanly. End of quote, free translation. And on the following page, I think in Khmer, it's at 00270788. And I quote, it's another message from Meng dated 8 August 1978, that is the following day, free translation, and he says the following: I would like to provide the following clarification to my report to the base of Trapeng Tom Kangchun commune regarding the story of the 5 widows, which I list here below. 1. Mui, M-U-O-Y, she is Sino-Vietnamese. 2. Ban Sekung, alias Kik, she is also a mixed blood, Chinese-Vietnamese. 3. Kyu Ka. 4. Tu, alias Yag, alias Lim, she is Vietnamese. And 5. Mao. End of quote. So the report states that they were complaining about the food and about the work, and that they had decided to flee to Vietnam. So my question is the following. This report speaks about the situation of 5 female prisoners in August 1978, and among the female prisoners at Angroka, did you know some of these widows from Trapeng Tom North Commune? That is to say, Mui, Ban Sekun, Kyu, Tu alias Leng, or Mao?
All these women, I did not know them, but I saw them and they were detained there, but they were not detained for long. They were shackled for 1 or 2 nights only, then they were taken out. So because they were not kept there for long, I did not know them.
And do you remember if there were young children who were with them?
Man.
There was one. There was one young infant who was breastfeeding the mother.
Now I would like to show you another document. It is document D157.6. And with the Chamber's leave, can I give him this document and, of course, display it on the screen?
Yes, you may proceed.
Donc la référence en Khmer est
The Khmer reference is 00270720. English 00322089.
President Co-Prosecutor, could you please repeat the EN number again?
Yes, certainly. Khmer 00270720. English 00322089.
il n'y a pas de traduction.
And there is no French version of this document.
Il s'agit d'un
So this is a document that was sent by Meng to the party, and for its information. And I'd like to mention first that there is an inconsistency here, at least in the English version, because mention is made of 12 June 1974, but in fact it was 12 June 1978 on the basis of the information contained with regard to the same prisoner called Lai Kiet. And we can find his name mentioned in other documents that date back to 1978, and I might refer to these other documents later, but in any case, this is a document dated from 12th of June, coming from Meng, and that relates to the party what follows with regard to Lai, L-A-Y, Kiet, K-I-E-T, who was 27 years old, who was born in Kirivong Market in District 109, and who was a new person, who had been brought from Tramkak. And Meng says that Lai Kiet complained about the living conditions during the revolution, and that he said he was working too much, and that he would meet with other young people, and he was also complaining about that he did not have enough to eat, and that it was said that he had destroyed jackfruit shoots. So at Angroka, when you were detained there, did you ever know this Lai Kiet, this young man by the name of Lai Kiet, who, according to another document on the case file, E3/4092, was of Chinese stock? Does this name ring a bell, Lai Kiet?
No, I do not know that person. President Council Coupe, you have the floor.
Just a request for clarification, Mr. President. I noticed a difference in dates on the English translation of the document and the Khmer version, although I'm not able to distinguish quite well the date on the Khmer version of this document. But in general, if this is noted how should we proceed? I presume there should be a request for a correction, or should we establish right now here that it is in fact a wrong translation?
President, the chamber will allow that. And the civil party, could you please follow the court officer? President, allow me to clarify. In fact, the civil party needs to relieve himself, and the chamber allows him to do so as he can no longer bear the eagerness to go. President, I'd like to hand the floor to Judge for Defense to respond to the request by Counsel Coupe. Judge Fence, you have the floor.
Yeah, this is to the request of guidance how to deal with these discrepancies. We suggest, for ease of reference, to make requests for correction, because then it's easier to locate in the case file. This request should be made by the party who actually finds the discrepancy. Yeah.
Well, indeed, before the civil party returns, I would like to just let you know that figures, digits 4 and 8 are sometimes similar when they're written, so it might be difficult for the translator to spot this. So we came to the conclusion that the year is 1978 because the name of this person is mentioned in 3 other documents dating back to 1978. But maybe I should refer to these 3 documents here. E3/4083 at English ERN 00323947. I only have the English ERN, Also document E3/2046, English ERN 00290202, and finally E3/4092, Khmer ERN 00271150, English 00834809 and 10. So this was my remark. Now I only have two questions to put to you, civil party. Now, as Lekit, who was detained, according to the document that was read out to you, detained at Androka, were there many prisoners on site who had been arrested because they had openly criticized the revolution or the living or working conditions during the Khmer Rouge regime?
At the Androka Security Center, I did not see anyone engaging in criticism.
D'accord.
Fine. Of course, I understand that they would not criticize when they were there already, but did you hear from other prisoners who were with you that they had been arrested because they had previously criticized the regime? For example, when they were working in a cooperative or in a mobile unit.
Those people were arrested and detained at the Androka Security Center. However, I did not know all of them because there were so many of them there.
Fine. Well, civil party, I have no further questions. Thank you very much for having taken the time to come back and for having answered us so clearly. Thank you.
President, thank you. The time is appropriate for a lunch break, and the chamber will take a break now and resumed at 1:30 this afternoon. Court officer, could you assist the civil party at the room for the civil parties and the witnesses during the break, and invite him as well as the TPL staff into the courtroom this afternoon at 1:30. Security personnel are instructed to take Kirsampon through the waiting room downstairs and bring him into the courtroom this afternoon before 1:30. The court is now in recess.
សូមចេញក្រោកឈរ